there was some kind of commotion in the hawker center. This was annoying, as Dre was hungry and technically off duty. All he wanted was ramen and bed. The commotion was at the ramen stall, and at the center of it was, no surprise to Dre, Tristol Zyga. Since he'd moved aboard the station, Mr. Zyga had been a thorn in Dre's side. Of course, everyone adored Mr. Zyga. Dre also adored him. That was part of the problem. Mr. Zyga, and Dre would think of him that way or die trying, was galoi. So of course, everyone adored him. Considering how few galoi moved off-planet, the station was incredibly lucky to have one in residence. There was something about galoi. They comforted by their very presence. They were friendly and amusing and fun and generous. They were charming and smart, eager to learn about others, all qualities any space station would want on their payroll. Also, a galoi off Gaul was a certified exile with no possibility of ever returning, thus entirely lacking in planetary allegiance. This made them the perfect neutral party, a major political asset. Everyone liked a galoi. Everyone on Station XO17 loved Mr. Zyga. Dre avoided him like a Doreen megaplague. Yet Mr. Zyga always seemed to be in trouble, or in the middle of some dramatic emotional crisis over flower petals, or causing a ruckus with noodles, or starting a dance party, or creating the universe's first flower petal noodle dance extravaganza. Also, he was the most fucking adorable thing Dre had ever seen in his life. Mr. Zyga was about as high as Dre's shoulder, his body smooth and sleek. He was also purple. Actually, goddamn purple. After meeting Mr. Zyga, Dre had gone home to his quarters and stroked off because look at him. Cleaned himself up in disgust, and then searched for as much information as he could find on the galoi. There was very little known about them. The planet of Gaul was xenophobic in the extreme. What little was known about the galoi had been gathered via very limited remote trade relations, and the 100 or so exiles who fled their planet for a life in the stars. Those exiles were remarkably close-mouthed. What Dre managed to find out was that the galoi had 5 genders. 5. Pictures of other exiles showed all galoi had the same heart-shaped faces, big, rounder-than-human eyes, sweet smiles with pointed teeth, and large, pointed ears. Basically, grape-flavored, super-hot elves with sea-anemone hair. Dre was a devout scuba diver, had a horrible sweet tooth, and his favorite flavor was grape. Of course, since Dre was wildly attracted to Mr. Zyga, dealing with him on a professional basis was that much more challenging, so Dre defaulted to stiff and grumpy. Mr. Zyga only ever gave Dre the same open, friendly treatment he gave everyone, which annoyed Dre further, because more than anything else, he would like to be special to this man, to be treated differently. But Tris was galoi, notoriously promiscuous. That was in all the files because it might cause an international incident. Dre, on the other hand, knew himself well enough to identify as quite gay, quite monogamous, and probably too domineering and possessive for most modern human men, let alone a galoi. Which is why he was left merely imagining what lavender skin tasted like, forcing his attraction to convert to annoyance whenever he ran into Mr. Zyga. Of course, they lived in the same zone. Of course, it would be Mr. Zyga causing a commotion at the ramen stand. Of course, Dre would be the only security officer around to deal with it.